The air inside the KBS broadcast studio was electric that Friday night. Cameras lined every corner. The audience seating was filled with a mix of invited fans and industry guests. And the polished wood of the stage glistened under 1,000 watts of lighting. Yoo Yeon-seok had been through countless interviews in his career. But this one felt different from the start. Maybe it was the fact that the program was going out live across all major Korean networks. Maybe it was the subtle tension in the room. Or maybe it was because everyone in the audience, and millions more watching at home, knew there was one question hanging in the air that had never been answered. The first 20 minutes unfolded smoothly. He spoke about his recent drama's success, the exhausting yet rewarding filming schedule, and his appreciation for the loyal fans who had followed him through every career stage. His tone was warm, the laughter easy. His charisma as undeniable as always. Then the host, a veteran Mick with a knack for pulling headlines out of guests, leaned slightly forward. The kind of movement that signals something unscripted is about to happen. So, Yeon-seok, the host began. His voice casual yet deliberate. When are you going to marry Chae Soo-bin? It was as if the studio's temperature dropped by 10 degrees. The audience collectively gasped and then erupted into a murmur. The camera operator instinctively zoomed in. Catching the instant his relaxed smile froze. For a split second, his eyes widened, his lips parted, and he blinked as though recalibrating his entire emotional response. Across South Korea, viewers leaned forward in their seats, some covering their mouths, others already reaching for their phones. Yoo Yeon-seok laughed softly at first, a practice move, a way to buy time. That's quite a question, he said, his voice dropping just slightly, enough for the seasoned viewer to hear the weight beneath his words. He reached for the glass of water on the table, took a slow sip, and placed it down with deliberate care. The pause between the question and his eventual answer stretched just long enough to create a tidal wave of speculation. When the time is right, finally replied, his gaze steady yet unreadable. It's something only Soo-bin and I can decide together. It was a masterclass in controlled vulnerability. The words gave away nothing concrete. But the tone, the softness in the way he said her name, ignited a firestorm. Within minutes, hashtags like Yeon-seok marriage and Soo-bin trended at #1 nationwide. Clips of the moment flooded TikTok and Instagram. Fan edits overlaying romantic music to his lingering pause before speaking. To understand why this one question had such an impact, you had to know the history. Yoo Yeon-seok, the man whose filmography spans everything from heartwarming melodramas to gritty thrillers, had always maintained a fiercely private personal life. Chae Soo-bin, the effervescent actress with a natural on-screen charm, shared a similar philosophy: professionalism first, privacy always. The two had met 3 years earlier on the set of a romantic drama that became a ratings darling. Behind-the-scenes footage from that time showed easy laughter, shared glances, and the kind of unspoken chemistry that fans latch onto. Started then, of course. A grainy photograph here, a fan's eyewitness account there. Entertainment sites speculated endlessly, late-night cafe visits, accidental matching coats during winter press tours. Uncanny ability to finish each other's sentences in interviews. Still, every official statement from both sides was the same: they are close colleagues. By the time the marriage question landed in that live broadcast, the tension had been building for years. The fact that it was asked with millions watching, with no room for edited evasions, made it historic. The studio audience's reaction was a microcosm of the country's: gasps, whispers, then a ripple of laughter when you handled it with grace. Grace couldn't stop the wildfire. Within an hour, the nation's largest online forums had threads dissecting every detail. Did you see the way he smiled when he said her name? One post read. He's definitely in love, another claimed, accompanied by screenshots of his softened expression. Cafe in Gangnam. 2 university students huddled over a phone, replaying the clip for the 5th time. Look, right there. His eyes, one insisted. Looking at the exact frame. In a living room in Busan. Who had tuned in casually found themselves debating over dinner whether a wedding announcement was imminent. Across the sea, even international fans in Los Angeles and Manila were weighing in on Twitter, proving that this was no longer just a Korean celebrity moment, it was a global pop culture flashpoint. The rest of the live program passed in a haze. You fielded a few more questions, cracked a couple of self-deprecating jokes, and even performed a short comedic skit with a mic. But the magic of television had already done its work. The only thing anyone would remember was the question and his answer. When the broadcast ended, internet was already ablaze. By the time Yoo Yeon-seok left the studio, 3 different entertainment reporters were waiting near the parking area, shouting questions about his wedding plans. He smiled politely, offered no further comment, slipped into the back seat of his van. Meanwhile, across town, Chae Soo-bin was wrapping up a late-night shoot for her new drama. Her phone buzzed repeatedly, a steady stream of notifications lighting up her screen. At first, she thought it was just her fans reacting to the day's filming updates. Then her manager, an unflappable professional who rarely showed emotion on set, hurried over holding her own phone. "You need to see this," she said. Play on the clip. Soo-bin watched in silence. The way his eyes shifted, the careful pause, the tone when he said her name, it was all there. She let out a small laugh. Part amusement, part disbelief. "He really said that," she murmured, handing the phone back. Her agency moved quickly, issuing a statement the next morning. "We appreciate the public's interest, but Chae Soo-bin is currently focused on her work. Any personal matters will be addressed privately." Yoo's agency issued a similarly measured response, praising the audience's enthusiasm but declining to elaborate. That didn't stop the press. Entertainment talk shows devoted entire segments to analyzing the moment. Body language experts were brought on to assess whether his pause indicated genuine romantic intent or simply careful PR management. Tabloids dredged up old photos of the pair, including details like identical bracelets or similar travel schedules. Fan communities, however, approached it differently. For many, this wasn't about confirming or denying romance, it was about the emotional connection they felt watching the exchange. "It's like watching the climax of a drama we've been following for years," one fan wrote on a popular forum. Another posted a collage of their drama stills alongside screenshots from the live interview, captioned, "Some stories write themselves." The question also reignited discussions about how the Korean entertainment industry handles celebrity relationships. Some argued that stars should be free to date openly without fear of backlash. Others pointed out that the public's fascination is what sustains much of the industry's buzz. As for Chae Soo-bin, she maintained her poise in subsequent public appearances. At a charity event the following week, reporters inevitably tried to slip in questions about marriage. She smiled warmly, thanked them for their support, steered the conversation back to the charity's mission. Still, a little pink in her cheeks as she walked away kept the speculation alive. For Yoo Yeon-seok, the days following the interview were a delicate balancing act. His team carefully selected which events he attended, ensuring no uncontrolled media ambushes. In a pre-recorded radio appearance that aired later that week, he was asked about his ideal type. "Someone who understands my work. Makes me feel at peace," he replied. The host laughed and said, "Sounds familiar," prompting another round of online frenzy. The story showed no signs of dying down. Brands began to float the idea of joint endorsements, capitalizing on the public's fixation. Drama producers whispered about reuniting the pair on screen, that the intrigue would drive record ratings. Yet, beneath the commercial opportunities and fan theories, there was a quieter truth. The exchange on live television had revealed something rare in the manufactured polish of celebrity culture, an unscripted moment of humanity. Whether it was love, friendship, something in between, the connection between Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin was undeniable. South Korea wasn't ready to let go of the question that sparked it all. And so, the country waits. It's for another interview, another shared glance, another sign that the story will take its next step. Whether that step leads to wedding bells or simply remains a beautiful what if. One thing is certain, the night Yoo Yeon-seok was asked, "When will you marry Chae Soo-bin?" will be remembered as the moment a nation collectively leaned in and held its breath.